It is still the first day at Origins Game Fair, and I'm here. Doing
of course.
He's doing the bunny ears behind me, or whatever. I don't know. But I had the pleasure of talking to my pal, Stephen Buonocore, who I say it every time we do an interview. We go way back.
We do.
I just realized
one of the first Origins I was ever at. I think it was the first or second one.
It was your first. You had Survive.
In the back corner, I was with Tom Vassell. We shared a booth area with Tom and some company that was doing video type games and somebody else I can't remember. It was amazing.
I remember you're actually the first podcast interview that we did.
Wow.
Yeah, I went back and took a look and I was like, whoa.
Video or audio only?
That was audio only.
Wow.
It was back when we did the podcast.
Guys, one of the old ones.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about the goodness that's coming out from Stronghold.
Yep.
You always have lots of stuff cooking.
We always have a lot of stuff cooking. We did some really interesting things this year in lines of games, and that's what we're going to talk about first.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about the follow-up to Ganz schön clever, which we call That's Pretty Clever, which is now twice as clever. So in Doppelt, so clever, the German name, or twice as clever. You really have to be twice as clever to score well. These are roll and write games. This is a series of games that we're doing with Schmidt Spiele, where you roll dice, select dice, mark dice on a sheet. That's a concept of roll and write. Everybody else is doing it at the same time too, and the object is really to score the most points in clever combinations of dice rolling. If you buy into the whole roll and write thing, you're going to love this. Literally, this is like twice as difficult to score well. Not difficult to play, because the mechanics of twice as clever are essentially the same as in That's Pretty Clever. But to figure out the best way to score, it's twice as hard. I only play this one now because I'm trying to beat this system, and I can't do it yet.
And I'm not allowed to play it because I'm not clever at all.
There you go. So if you're not clever like Jeff, don't play it. But if you are clever like Buonocore, you want to pick up twice as clever.
Like Yahtzee is just beyond me.
Yahtzee on steroids, I guess you can say. So the whole line. So we had That's Pretty Clever, Twice as Clever.
Yeah,
both by Wolfgang Warsch, who is like the hottest designer in the industry right now. The guy's an absolute genius. He's so outside the box thinking. Nominated 3 times last year in the Spiel des Jahres categories. First time that's ever happened. So he also then...
Reiner Knizia never did that.
He never did that. Then Brikks. This is also Wolfgang Warsch. This is Tetris the Roll and Write. Of course, I can't say that because I'll get sued by somebody. But
I can say it. Hey, that looks like Tetris the Roll and Write.
So in this, you're going to roll. A certain shape is going to have to be put on. You're going to kind of slide that shape down on your flat map. You're going to slide it in, and you're trying to fill in those bottom lines completely to score the most points.
Okay.
There are energy that you can accumulate and then use to manipulate the shape, to move it back and forth, to turn it and things like that. And you're going to continue until the whole sheet is filled and you can't do any more. People will then drop out within one round of each other. Best score is going to win. That's Brikks, also by the famous now Wolfgang Warsch, best new designer in the industry.
How much do you pay you to say that?
I say it because I think the guy's a genius.
He's joking.
Right before we came out with those two games, we brought out a Uwe Rosenberg game called Second Chance. Now this is a flip and write, not a roll and write. So 2 cards are presented.
You flip the table and then you write. Okay,
and then you throw on the guy's face that you hit him with. So in this game, it's going to be hard, obviously, to see it on here. But you're going to have like a pad, and you're going to be drawing the shapes that are flipped from these cards. 2 cards that get flipped. I might draw this one, you might draw the same one or the other one, and we're trying to most completely fill in that sheet of paper.
Okay.
Simple, and
even I could play it.
Even you. It's a 10 to 15 minute game, and the name Second Chance comes out. If you can't play one of those because you've now kind of screwed yourself,
right. Okay.
You get a second chance. You get one more card to see if that one will work for you. If not, you're out. But again, within like one round, everyone will say, "Oh, I can't play anymore."
Sure.
See how many boxes are left. Person with the least boxes left wins. First time I played this, I actually did the entire thing, which is really, really hard to do. I beat the other publisher who was pitching me the game. Ever since then, I haven't won a game yet since. So, but that's Second Chance by Uwe Rosenberg.
Don't dislocate your shoulder, patting yourself on the back there.
Look how good I did.
Damn!
before I move on to some other things that we do have here, I've just mentioned 4 games in this roll and write, flip and write series.
Right.
2 more coming in August. One is called Dizzle by Ralph Zorlinde. He's a pretty noted designer as well. And then a game called Encore. In Germany, it's called Nochmal. It's the #1 selling roll and write in Germany, actually.
Okay.
And it's by Inka and Marcus Brand, very noted designers, winners of the Spiel des Jahres for Village back about 15 years ago.
What kind of theme does that roll and write have?
All these roll and writes are completely themeless, essentially themeless.
Okay.
Every
All
one
right.
of them.
Yeah.
So there are the themed ones, like we did Steamrollers, right?
Yeah,
so that
the
we were
train one.
train building, but they're a much bigger game, right? And we did also La Granja No Siesta, where you're collecting the
Gesundheit.
resources. But all of these are non-themed. I mean, so Brikks is a very lightly themed with Tetris, the board game, but you're trying to fill those shapes in. Most of these things don't really need themes, but they need a really solid, fun mechanics, and that's what these things
They
are
need
providing.
replayability, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and they're really providing that.
Excellent.
So 2 more things that we do have here. Oh look, just another game by Wolfgang Warsch. So again, hottest designer, most outside-the-box thinker. This is called Subtext. Probably very hard to see this on.
I shot a little B-roll for it.
Yeah, thank you. This is like a party game. This is a drawing game where you are trying to draw subtly. People who are going to try to draw very exact and well are going to lose at this game. So if you're a really good drawer, don't play this game. Be subtle and be smart about what you do, because you'll know what the clue is. You'll then take that card plus one other card for the other players in the game and distribute them. You're going to draw what was on your card, but subtly. One other person's going to have that card and draw something subtly. You guys are trying to match up.
Right.
Now, he doesn't know. He's just drawing what he sees or she sees. But they've got to do it just subtly. They have to say, oh, I think he had the car.
Right.
Because he put like a circle with a dot or a spoke or something. So, and I had that one, so I'm going to vote for Elliot, and you're going to vote for me.
Sure.
If other people then pick us, we're not going to score. We want to distract them. We want to score alone.
Okay.
So that is Subtext, 4 to 8 players, a nice party game, and again, thinking very outside the box in the way he's designed these games.
Now, the next one has really caught my eye. I did have a news piece about it. Valparaiso, Indiana.
In Valparaiso, Indiana, which there is no such look to Valparaiso, Indiana.
No, there's not, because I have been through Valparaiso. No offense, Valparaiso.
Offense. I've actually had people coming like, hey, I went to college in Valparaiso. Oh, you in Chile? No, in Indiana.
Right.
So I found out about that fairly recently. Now, the first thing I'm going to point out is this ridiculously gorgeous artwork on both the board and the thing. This is Michael Menzel. He is the #1 artist in the industry, period. So we got him again, or our partners, DLP Games, got him again to do a game.
Is this sort of a trading kind of mercantile game?
This is you're a merchant, a trader in Valparaiso, Chile, in the 19th century, and via card play, you're going to be playing cards and programming them in front of you, and then in turn order we flip them over and we take the actions on those cards.
Nice.
So you're trying to build an engine of programmed card play.
I like program action games.
Yeah.
Some people don't. They can't think far ahead enough.
But like most Euros, almost most Euros are programming, because I'm going to do this first to then get this to do this to do this. There's sequencing. This you're doing it with cards. You're sequencing with cards, and you can look at them, and then you take those actions. You're going to send your merchants out into the city. You're going to set up buildings. You're going to be able to get on ships and to go into trade and things like that. Trading in Valparaiso, Chile, via this kind of a little bit of area control and the programmed
looks
card-
impressive. It really did catch my eye.
This is a mid lightweight Euro game. Just beautiful, and we have it here. It's not even on sale yet. It's here, of course, but not on sale to the public until June 26th. So a couple more weeks,
Yeah,
and you can catch this.
There's some B-roll, so people will be able to see that.
Check it out. So that's it. That's what we have right now.
I
Very
assume
excited.
we've
The
got
booth
some.
has been crowded as all hell.
Hey, yeah,
Heck-
it's
heck-
always crowded. Yes, it is.
You like the new crazy arch?
the big
I hope
arch.
You get a nice,
Yes, I
B-roll
thought I
of
was
my
in
arch.
St. Louis for a second. I was like, whoa. Did they move that for Origins? Because it's
The
massive.
Stronghold is now in St. Louis.
You had this at Gen Con.
No, we did not. We had this at PAX Unplugged. It was the first and only time.
That's where I saw it.
First and only
I
time
saw
we had
somebody
this.
posted something, or maybe you posted something
I probably
on
did.
Twitter.
And as soon as we erected it here, people were like, "Where did you get that?" Other publishers. I'm like, not telling. No, I immediately. We help each other.
None of your damn business where it got it.
We help each other out. So I told them where. But I wanted to make sure
it's all one big competitive family. That's how it works.
It kind of is. We are friendly competitors. So I think next year what we're going to do is we're going to get like 3 of these. It'll kind of look like a
tunnel,
like a little bit of like tunnel, like a Stargate or something like that. I think it'll be kind of fun.
So Gen Con, because unfortunately, when people get to see these videos, they can't come and visit you at Origins because Origins will be over.
That's right.
What's something that you've got coming out at Gen Con that you think is going to be big?
Well,
it's going to be hot.
The other 2 of those roll and writes will be there. So Dizzle,
yes,
excuse me, and Encore will both be there.
Okay.
We may be able. Yes, we're going to absolutely try to fly in some of a new game that won't be releasing until October called Amul, which is a card drafting and hand management game set on the Spice Road, the city of Amul, which was part of the Spice Road back in at some point in a long time ago. Right. And it's you think that, of course, Valparaiso, beautiful artwork. Another game with this absolutely gorgeous, very kind of stylized Middle Eastern art. Mongols versus the Arabs in competition. Those are the kind of the card art. And it's like this set collection and tableau building and hand management. Certain cards will only score if they're on the table. Certain cards will only score if they're in your hand. So you have to balance how cards are scored as you simultaneously draft cards and things like that. So very excited about that. And that's a 3 to 8 player game. So it's got this really great scalability in it.
Last thing I want to mention is you've got the new edition of Igizia.
Yes, we do.
And that Kickstarter wrapped, right?
That Kickstarter just wrapped last week.
That's what I was going to say. It's really recent.
Did quite well. Did something like 800% of.
And it looks just stunning. It looks beautiful.
I think we have the prototype over here.
There's B-roll.
If you do the B-roll, that's not the actual final board.
I actually zoomed in and out like 3D
not final.
Almost, like, hey, this isn't the final.
That was the prototype we were using for people to play it when they did their videos and things like that on the game. We've made some modifications. The art's changed. The box size has changed. But it is, if you know the game Igizia, it's one of those Grail games that people have wanted for the longest time. We finally, after 10 years of being out of print, we got it back. We did extensive development on the game to modernize a few things and change a few things out there. But if you did back the Kickstarter, you can play both the original version and the new version.
That's what I thought was pretty cool.
I think in the end, people are going to really love the new version. It just really shines with the tweaks that were made. Again, gorgeous artwork that Bill Bricker, who's always here at the shows at Origins and Gen Con, he did all the artwork in that game to revitalize it for us. And I think in the end it's going to be brilliant. Just a quick synopsis of the game. You are coming down the Nile River and you're going to take actions to wherever you stop. You can't go back up the Nile. Nile's only flowing in one direction. Right. So if you go down to here to take this action, you're never going to get the one behind it. Right. So you have to make the hard choice, like, ooh, I kind of like that one that's close by, but I really need that far one, so I'm going to go there. But then all the other players are going to get all those other juicy actions that you bypass.
And everybody is playing architects, and they're trying to build these great structures for Pharaoh. And if you don't build it, then you're executed, and that's
it was sort of you're getting victory points by building.
That's my version of the game.
You're getting victory points by building the Great Pyramid. Giza, you're getting for building the obelisks, the colonnades, all of these structures from Egypt. And if you'll notice the thing about that we did with the artwork is that we did not do it in that almost beigey thing that a lot of things very deserty, because back then Egypt was much more rich and fertile, and they painted things. All of the stuff that they did when they built them, they paint not a pyramid, of course, but they painted the colonnades. Yes. So we put that on there.
Just like the Nile flooding was a big thing, and they needed the Nile to flood every year.
They needed the flood to get the grass up and the crops back up and things like that. So all of that stuff, and we used a different kind of palette. Really pops, really beautiful. It does. So very excited about that game.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share with the audience, Stephen?
Follow Stronghold Games on Twitter, on Facebook. Sign up for my newsletter. Come to the conventions and meet me and hang out.
He's pretty friendly.
Watch this guy.
He's pretty friendly.
He's good. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's watch it. Watch this guy. Watch his videos and visit the website. Not watch this guy.
And listen to my podcast, Board Games Insider, with Ignacy Chevicek, the president of Portal Games, and Stephen Buonocore, president of Stronghold Games. We do a industry podcast once every other week. So
A little inside baseball, huh?
inside, it's Board Games Insider. We're inside baseball. There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
As always, thank you very
always a
much.
pleasure. Thanks, buddy.
Enjoy the show. Cute. Thanks for watching my Origins Game Fair 2019 coverage. If you'd like to see more convention coverage, click right here. And if you'd like to see a somewhatly random video from the Gaming Gang channel, including recordings of the live Monday through Friday episodes of The Daily Dope, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.